March is right around the corner, and that means it is time for Read Across America. And hopefully we can get rid of some of this snow that we're having and cold weather. But today I really want to talk about Read Across America and some activities you can do, and I have a lot of books to share with you as well. So let's go check those out. Hi everyone, my name is Sarah, and I show up every Sunday night on this YouTube channel to bring you read aloud tips and book ideas that you can use in your classroom that week. If that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and then hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss a video. Today I want to chat about Read Across America, and in the past few years we've really started to switch it up a bit. It originally started as a celebration of Dr. Seuss, but now we really want to focus on celebrating the culture and diversity of our country and how wonderful it is and how we can use picture books and even chapter books to share this with our students. I want to start out by sharing some activities that you can do to celebrate Read Across America. And before we even get into that, I have a video from a few weeks ago. We talked about World Read Aloud Day. I love that there are so many times to celebrate reading throughout the school year. But in that video, I shared lots of different activities, and almost all of them can be used for Read Across America as well. So I'll leave a link to that right here, and I'll also leave a link in the description box down below so you can check that one out next. The first thing that you can do, and it pairs perfectly with the month of March, is a March Madness with your books. And I want to show you an example of one that I had in my classroom. So what you can see is we created a March Madness bracket in our classroom. On the sides of the bracket, we started with the picture books that we had all read together as a class. These were popular ones that we had read aloud together and ones that the students really loved. And each week throughout the month, the students would vote on two of the books that were up against each other. And that book would move on to the next round until we came down to the final two, and they got to see which one was the winner, which one was a favorite of the majority of the class. It was so much fun. The students loved seeing it displayed in the classroom. It really got them invested in the books that we read and reminded them of the stories that we had read together as a class throughout the year. Another idea that's similar to a March Madness bracket would be a book battle. This one is a little simpler, doesn't take as much time as the March Madness one does, but with a book battle, you are going to take a handful of books that you've shared together as a class so that all of the students know which books that they're voting on. Each student's gonna vote on which one was their favorite, and then as a class tally it up and see which one is the winner. It's kind of neat to do this displayed on a bulletin board so that everyone can see. They can see which books got the most votes, if any of them were really close. That's another fun idea for Read Across America to bring more excitement about picture books into your classroom. Another great activity for Read Across America would be to do a readathon. You can do this as your class, as a whole school, as a grade level. You decide which works best for your students. There's so many different ways you can do it. You could have your students read all day or read for an extended period of time. You could add up all the minutes that you read together as a class to see how much reading was done. You could invite virtual readers into your classroom. I know that your students will have a lot of fun with a readathon, no matter which way you decide to do it. The next way that you can celebrate Read Across America is my favorite way, and that is by sharing wonderful picture books with your students. I'm gonna give you lots of different ideas for how you can share picture books and which books to choose to really celebrate the diversity and culture of our country. The first place that I got really good picture book ideas is the NEA website, and I'll leave a link to that down in the description box down below. But on this website for the past year, each month they have created a topic of the month to celebrate diversity and inclusion in the classroom, and they've provided book ideas for each month. So for example, if you wanted to talk to your students about building community, they have this wonderful new book called A New Kind of Wild, a great one to share with your students in the classroom. Another theme that they had this year was empowering student voice, and one of the examples of books that they give is The Day You Begin, one of my favorite books to share with students. So check out the NEA website. Again, I'll leave that in the description box down below. And they have a full year of themes with picture books and novels for you to share with your students. Another great way to celebrate Read Across America is to literally read across America. If you head over to the Book Wrangler's website, he will take you on a road trip across the country, providing you with titles of books, one from each state that celebrates the rich, diverse culture of our country. I want to share a couple of them with you today, and then I'll also leave a link in the description box down below where you can check out the whole list and all the books that he shared. So if you're headed to Vermont, you might read the book Snowflake Bentley. As you continue across the country, you might pick up Mr. Ferris and His Wheel, which represents the state of Illinois. And then A Ride to Remember is the book for Maryland. Again, if you head over to his website, he has a whole list of all of the books, one for each state. It's really neat. I think your students will love this, so definitely go check that out. Another great resource for Read Across America is from the Tutu teacher. And she has created over the past few years a theme for each day of the week for Read Across America. Each theme celebrates the diversity, the culture of our country with picture books. So I'm going to share a couple examples, and then I'm going to leave a link to her website down below so you can grab not only this year's list, but she has a few previous years' lists as well. Amazing books on these lists, so check those out. For example, a theme might be celebrating different cultures, and you might read the book Fry Bread, or We Are Grateful. Both two wonderful books about celebrating Native Americans. Great thing about both these books is they are own voices books, so they are written by people of the Native American culture. Great stories to share with your students. If you want to talk about famous Americans in history, you might pick up the book Turning Pages, My Story, or Planting Stories. Two wonderful books about Americans who have made a difference in our country. You could talk with your students about taking action and how powerful their voice is by reading the story Sometimes People March, or about the power of immigration, and you could read the story We Came to America. Another theme might be families and how those families are different, and one book that I've loved is Ohana Means Family. The next theme that you share with your students could be celebrating them, celebrating who they are. And a great book for this is I Am Every Good Thing. All of these book ideas came from Vera of the Tutu teacher, and she has lots of lists on her website with different themes that you can use to celebrate Read Across America, and she gives so many book ideas. I'll leave a link to her website in the description box down below so that you can go check that out. I'll also leave links to all the books that I shared in this video to make it easier for you to grab some of the books to share with your students, whether it's Read Across America Week throughout the month of March, or these books would be great any time of the year to share with your students. I hope that you are excited for Read Across America and that your students are as well, and I can't wait to hear about how you celebrate it with your students. Tell me down in the comments below what book you're going to read with them, what activities you might be planning, because I can't wait to see what you have in store for them. If this video was helpful for you, make sure you give it a thumbs up, then hit that subscribe button down below, because I'll be back next week with more Read Aloud tips and book ideas for you to use in your classroom. Have a great week. Let's start that again. Read Aloud trips. Are you